Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I am Gat, your host. Feeling really classic right now. Feeling really classic because this reminds me of old days. With the twin flame charts to the left is the female who requested it, and to the right already is similarities in just the appearance. Just the appearance similarities already. Now, anyone who requests a Twin Flames natal chart, they always get a free astrological report. Fully explains astrology, the 12 houses, all the planets, the signs, the symbols, what's in each house. Things are in there about the Archangel cards because they go right back. Well, really anything goes back to astrology. The Archangel cards. And so that's a totally free report. And what happens sometimes when people get the natal charts done, well, I always tell people to listen. I always encourage people to take notes. They generally tend to not to. But what happens, you get hit with so much information, and then you're like, oh, what about this? What about that? What about that? And that's why that's the benefits of taking notes, because there's no way you're going to retain all that information just listening. There's no way possible. So what happens once the natal chart is done, because that's my job, to give you a complete analysis of your natal chart, which I do. But further questions would be a new order if you wanted to go that route. That's totally up to you. The good news of the Twin Flames natal charts is that when you understand it and use it, from here on in, any horoscope reading you get, any card reading you get, whatever as above, so below. So whatever you're experiencing in your life will be connected somehow to your natal chart. So that's why that's the importance of understanding it and knowing it. A lot of people use it just for the twin flame. You find out if somebody's really their twin, or somebody might want to be dating somebody trying to find out about them. I just had a person do their whole family. Just want to find out about the family, what's going on. So they're valueless. Like you can't place it. When I say valueless, you can't place a value on your natal chart. And it is your blueprint from the universe, your blueprint from God. These are all the reasons why you should have it. Like I'm the type of guy, I'm always gonna deal with the best, whoever the best, because why spend whatever years of your life, your finances, and then you're still wanting because you didn't do it the right first time. I used to take care of elderly people, and there was a doctor in there. He's an old guy, but he used to be a doctor. He used to be a really powerful doctor. So he'd be walking around, and he tended to keep to himself usually. But he was the type of person, if he saw you do something and it didn't work, he would say, you should have did it right the first time, stupid. He used to always say that. I told him one day, I said, doctor, you're going to stop calling me stupid. But he wouldn't remember like the next day. He wouldn't even remember. All right. So now we're going to go in. Now, if you notice, her ascendant is in Aquarius. That is her rising sign, but that's in her 12th house. So anybody that tries to count that as her first house is not really correct. Her first house is Pisces, but she's going to be a Pisces type of Aries type of person. But really, to say it correctly, her ascendant is in her 12th house. That's the correct way to say it. But there will be people that say that's her first house. And if you did that, it's like a you gotta remember, it's like a pizza. Because you would be pissed off if you say, hey, I want a slice of that pizza, and they gave you some, oh, this is the first, and you got it's not even half of a whole, like one slice of pizza, you don't even get half of that. So this is divided into 12 houses, and you got to remember that. You want to keep them 12. Each house has its own thing going on in it, so you got to be very careful saying, oh, that her first house started here with the AC, and then it goes here and stops there. Because we're talking about energy here, and each house has its own meaning. So that's like somebody trying to cut into your property line. Oh no, because of this reason right here. So say your name is the Williams and their name is the Barnes, and now the Barnes are cutting into your territory because they got some. Wait a minute, what are you doing? Oh no, but because of this reason, we got this over here, so that kind of makes this our property line, but it's not. So there's a reason why you have boundaries everywhere. So you don't want to. You don't want to go by that. You got 12 houses for a reason. Just like you got 12 tribes of Israel in the Bible for a reason. And you don't want to cut into that. It's all about energy. You got to understand universal law. So to say it correctly, her ascendant is in the 12th house. Now, if somebody says, isn't the ascendant the first house? Usually it is, but not in this case. In this case, the ascendant, you want to say it correctly. Her first house would be Pisces, and that's her east point. Now, the east point is where the sun went over the ecliptic when she was born. That has a lot to do with the ego of the sun. The ascendant is where the sun went over the horizon when she was born. A lot of times when the ascendant is in the 12th house, that's because of like past life situations going on. But we'll get more into that as we do the chart. And just looking at his chart quickly, because his chart is on the right. Now see, her first house is totally. Her 12th house has become the first house because the AC and the EC are both in the 12th house. But that does make his 12th house the first house, but he's still sharing energy from the past life. And you see, her ascendant is Aquarius. If you notice, that's where his Venus is, in Aquarius. So you're already seeing how they can connect off of that. But either way, we're not going to do her 12th house yet. We're going to start with the first house, Pisces. She's going to be very inspirational, very spiritual. She may be an empath, being able to feel other people's emotions, but this is a water sign, and that's going to define her personality, the first house. Now, 3 degrees is the Empress card, the Empress Tarot card, the number 3, and that's Venus energy. Now, with Venus and Pisces, she has to be careful because they tend to love unconditionally, and you just have to be careful because where especially a lot of women go wrong with this one. Some men, but mostly women. You tend to love somebody who's not really loving you back, and you really exhaust yourself. Somehow you guys are able to do that, but you actually exhaust yourself. So I know the world's not perfect, but you also don't always want to be taking the dirty end of the stick all the time. So you're trying to get some type of balance, and you get balance sometimes by standing up for yourself, not being afraid to talk. Whether you do it, like say I can't talk face to face, you do it over the phone, do it by mail, however you choose to do it. Do it in the chat, be online, and you're both in the chat room or whatever. Who knows how you do it? But a person's got to know that they should respect you, respect your self-worth, and stuff like that. Or like I said, or you can just have like what's called a typical relationship, but that's totally up to you because each person is different. Like some people can put up with it, some people can't. All right. So your first house is how the world sees you, how you show yourself to the world, and that's pretty much it. What I just said. Second house is money. So you have an aggressive approach because that's Aries. Aries is very focused, very driven, but this is your money house, and Taurus rules it. Aries rules your first house. Taurus rules your second house is money, your value system, your possessions. So because Aries is there, you have a aggressive or forward, a very energetic approach to it. Your third house is ruled by Gemini. It deals with young people, like younger than teenagers, young people, their education, publishing, short distances, short travel, your siblings, what's also called the brotherhood, like the people around you, the environment around you, but they tend to call it the brotherhood in the third house. But just because they say brotherhood, it's still, females are involved as well. It's a very mental house, very creative house. And that's why I said, and you have Taurus there. Remember, Taurus represents your second house of finances. So she's very creative when it comes to her finances as well. So let's take a look at that. So again, she communicates and expresses herself through her financial and material resources. So when you're dealing with Taurus, that's ruled by Venus. So there's a person, when you come in their house, they want their house to look nice. Maybe have like pictures, things. Might even be things in there with art. So they're telling her to keep a positive mindset because that's when she's going to be best when it comes to her finances, her resources, her possessions, and how she values these things. So they said the same thing. Taurus in the second house, Taurus in the third house is about communication. How do you communicate? How do you relate? So they saying, but Taurus in the third house, you have to allow other people's opinions and communication. They say Taurus in the third house may make the mistake of trying to dominate the communications and other people's communications and things. So you can't do that. Definitely have to listen. Uh, I don't know if you can hear those things. I think this is perfect because I really believe in universal synchronicity. I don't know if you hear those landscapers out there, but that happened here. It's a family. My neighbor's right behind, and I'm pretty sure the element behind those people is probably Taurus because she's always been about, you know, possessions and having something great and taking care. She's that type of person, and sometimes Tauruses are teachers, which she used to be a long time ago. And so a situation rose where they're just like I got. That's how I know this is God. Because now we're going to talk about the property line again. But they're always landscaping and cutting stuff and putting it on a curve, but then that stuff slides down on our property and it blocks the driveway and stuff like that. And I don't know, I might have let it slide when I was younger. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't remember. But as you get older, like I got health problems, I got stuff going on my feet. A lot of stuff my doctor gave me some wrong medication, kind of messed stuff up. So I don't like to be on my feet needlessly. So I think I was still doing it anyway, but I don't know what happened. I really don't. But then they both started acting a certain way. Her and her daughter. Her daughter's younger than me. Now, I've known that woman since I was born. But they just kept on doing stuff, stupid stuff that I won't get into. But again, this is the universe. So I let it slide because, I've known them people for a long time. But I guess the more I said, why am I out here, raking all this stuff up? And this is theirs. Because like you've already done your yard. Your yard is like clean, spotless. And as soon as you get done and go in the house or whatever, all of a sudden you look outside and their stuff is now slid down. So this stuff went on for a while. So and then I think I still tried to keep my mouth shut. But then the township gave us a summons for their stuff. So I was like, okay, let me just go talk to them. So then I went to talk to them. They wouldn't open up the door. So they just kept on like pushing. But this went on for like 7 years before I finally got to how I can be. Where, oh no, this is stopping now. So let the township know this is better. Stop. Boom, boom, boom. And couldn't talk to them really. However I did it, whatever. Then the township tried to take their side because she used to work for the township a long time ago. So it got really, really ugly. But it all started with their failure to communicate. Like they thought that they were so much pressure, so much better that they didn't have to communicate. And I got to the point, oh no, you're going to communicate because I'll find out how to make it communicate. And I'm like one of the best investigators on the planet. So I knew how to get to them. Once they realized, oh no, because you're knocking on all these doors, telling all these people, be it love your neighbor and all that stuff you're saying, but you don't even do it. You're the worst neighbors we ever had, to be quite frank right now. So that's going to get exposed, and also the township's going to realize if they don't do their job, then I'm going to go over their head and get them to. So it got real ugly. But now, like I said, You know, now it's no stuff on, because the township said the best way to handle it is don't nobody put nothing out unless it's right before the day they take it. Because what happened, people were putting stuff out a week in advance, 2 weeks in advance, and of course it's going to slide down at some point. So the township said no more in your little area, because you got all this feud going on. Don't put nothing out that's not supposed to be out unless it's right before it's supposed to be taken. And unfortunately, that has to be the best course, because of the arrogance they were showing and the lack of communication. And it affected a whole lot of people, because we got landscapers too and all kind of, so now everybody's affected. But it all started with them thinking that they were too powerful to talk to anybody. So that's the warning they're giving you. I'm going to read it. This is astrologyclub.org. Taurus in the third house. The conceit of Taurus here must be carefully avoided. So again, remember I said about brotherhood and your environment around you. And even argumentatively, you could call those people family. That's how long I've known them. I remember when the daughter was born. I remember as a little baby. So, but it got that ugly. But it got that ugly because somebody honestly felt like they don't have to. It doesn't matter if my stuff gets in your yard. But she got a big old no trespassing sign on her door, though. I said, how dare her? You got the nerve to have a big old fence, big old no trespassing, but your stuff is all in my yard. Like, the hypocrisy didn't stop. So nobody knew. The funny thing about it, nobody knew. See, I knew, but I kept it to myself. I'd be like, I'm out there like I'm freezing cold, cleaning their junk up. And this went on for a long time. I was like, man, these two are a bunch of hypocrites. And I just kept it to myself, but it finally came out. So that now, like, other people more aware, like, yeah, you know, that was kind of dirty. And that's why I said they might not have liked me holding my ground, but they had to respect it, because it is their stuff constantly coming around stuff. And my mother's elderly. Sometimes she had to drive herself to the emergency room by herself. So she's elderly. You be having EMTs come here for her way more often than they used to. We can't have their stuff, because that's just how our world is. The day you need that driveway to be clean for an emergency, it's not. It's going to be their stuff blocking it. I already knew that, so that's why I was like, and they knew it too, and they didn't care. Like, you don't understand what I'm saying. They honestly did not care. That's what was pissing me off. They're all about the hypocrisy, smile in your face, stab you in the back, and then they went out of their way to, once they got offended, they went out of their way to do all this extra stuff. Because everything we said about them that was true, they tried to flip it and say it was us. I said, man, these people don't stop, and they're lying through their teeth. And that's why I said, with me, you'll hear me say, because you say you're up in Chicago, so I know you must have heard people say paperwork. If you're up in Chicago, hopefully you must have known some real people. If you know some real people, you hear them say one thing: paperwork. It ain't no paperwork on me. That's how you know I'm not lying. But I could show you summonses and stuff they got that the township brought to us that I had to give to them, and they wouldn't even open the door, so I just left it in the door. Since they like to knock on people's doors and leave stuff in the door, I said I'd do the same thing. So that's how that got. So the point being made is, don't let the Taurus think you ain't got to respond, or people are beneath you, because they can find other ways. And that's how stuff gets way out of hand. Because really what should have happened was, oh, I'm sorry. Even if they had said sorry or something, I would have kept doing it. I would have kept cleaning the garbage up, because I'm that type of guy. But their arrogance is what made me angry. So now this is your karma in the third house. Taurus in the third house must fully identify yourself as part of all humanity. Because remember, I told you the brotherhood. All humanity. That's why I said some people with money, they start to think they above. Now, let's be honest. I'm not saying you got to be doing everything, because people need to get up and stand up. See, I'm a suburban dude, but I was always in the hood. I was one dude that was always in the hood, and nobody put their hands on me. So I was raised by gangsters and G's. So the point I'm trying to make is, you do have, like, everybody talking about Floyd Mayweather. Oh, Floyd ain't do this, Floyd doing that. Look, Floyd made his money. I ain't got no problem. Floyd don't owe me shit. Floyd don't owe nobody nothing but whoever he pay his bills to. You know what I'm saying? So to think Floyd Mayweather, oh, he don't. That man came out of the hood, did what he did, nice with his hands, very strategic, a good businessman, and he got his. That's the bottom line. Anybody hating on Floyd, you should use that same energy to better yourself. Because believe me, it's money in the hood. You know what I'm saying? There's money in the hood, so you can't act like, Oh man, this, and keep blaming somebody. The world is the way it is. The world ain't gonna change. I knew what I was going up against. That's why I got mad at them, because these people know me my whole life. But for some strange reason, which I don't know, I've never been in their yard. I've never touched none of their possessions. So why they tried to play me out like they did, I don't know. But I know there is a battle between good and evil on this planet. I know that for a fact. So they thought they was gonna keep mind playing game in me, and I said, wait a minute, y'all acting like I'm some type of person, but y'all are liars. Y'all are hypocrites. Y'all are whatever. Y'all gonna back up with all this. Your garbage is gonna stop coming down on my stuff. That's stopping. And if you keep pushing, then you're gonna cause me to go deeper. And I'm gonna expose you for the fake phony frauds that you are. Simply put. And they know me all my life, so they know. Like I said, they not stupid. When people seeing the same dude come up, you're not gonna play that over here. So that your little game is about to stop, whether you like it or not. You and your daughter gonna have to go sit and have a little pity party. So that's what goes down when you don't follow whatever. So they're saying karma in the third house is situations like that get out of hand. If a person is stubborn, a person think they ain't got to answer to nobody, this and that. But that doesn't mean you owe everybody something. You might help out a little bit. You might help out with a donation. Some people volunteer sometimes, but that doesn't mean, because people just think because you got something you supposed to. No, you don't have to do that, because I got relatives the same way. Ever since I was little, they ain't never had nothing. And I remember I would be knocking on doors, cutting grass, so I would have money in my pocket, and then they think they're gonna ask me for my money. And I was just a little kid. I said, hold up, how the heck these people older than me asking me for my money? Like, nah, I think I did it one time and then they ain't paying me back. I was like, never again. So those people have been broke for decades, ever since I know them. These are relatives. So these are choices people make, because there are ways to make money. You know, somebody just called me, yes, a telemarketer. Now I remember when I worked for this guy, he ran a company, and he hired anybody. You could walk in his place looking like a bum, he still give you a job. So believe me, if people really want to work, there are options. I still remember the old days when my relatives would knock on people's doors. Hey, how would you? Can I do this? I'll cut this. I'll take that. And like you see, like some, I'm not gonna say the ethnic groups because I'm not talking about people, but you see certain ethnic groups every day. They just standing out wherever, and people come by in a truck, pick them up. They go do landscaping on it, and the truck drop them back off. But they come home with some type of money. So there's ways to make money. So you can't blame Floyd Mayweather. Don't blame other people. If you're in a situation where you're at a certain, you gotta find a situation out of it. That's why I tell people there's always a spiritual side, there's always prayer, there's other means you can do besides blaming somebody for your plot in life. And the world ain't gonna change. So you can blame white man, whoever you think you need to blame, but it ain't gonna change. So you gotta learn how to get out of that. Now, so all this goes back to Taurus in the third house. But again, you do owe back to humanity, the brotherhood, womanhood. But don't let nobody play a guilt trip on you where they trying to take everything. Because Pisces can be very naive. So they're talking about your karmic level. You must fully identify yourself as part of all humanity, not just the rich people, not just people with money. And they're warning Taurus not to exaggerate in the third house. They say sometimes Taurus is funny. They're saying the same thing I'm saying about my neighbors. They said Tauruses can be great liars because that woman was lying through her freaking teeth. And they tried to set us up like they really went out there. Now listen, they never went out there and touched none of the landscaping the whole time. Once I made my complaint, they actually went out there. They got one of their people, because they got men that work for them. They actually went out there and put landscaping and threw it on our side or something and tried to make it seem like it was ours, but it wasn't ours. I said, man, these are some wicked ass people. But they knocking on everybody's door talking about God and Jehovah and all. But y'all some wicked ass people. But like I've been around, it's no big deal. Like I said, I've been around people all my life. I know how people can be. But I was just saying, my main concern was no more your hedges, no more your stuff's going to be on our property. That's it. All that other stuff you can keep to yourself. I could care less. I'm busy. So they say this person may exaggerate. They may tell you life is how they imagine it to be, but it wasn't. Last thing I'm gonna say about the people. Now she had a man. He's dead. Her husband. I know him too. He served the country and everything. He lived there for a while. He didn't have a great relationship with her. In fact, one time they have a big barbecue. We was all over there. He actually started saying, just talking about her, putting her down and stuff. And I never knew why. I didn't know why until now. Now I see why, because I see her true nature. But So he started cheating on her with another woman and made her get out the bed. Normally the husband gets out the bed. He made her get out the bed and sleep on the couch. So I'm not saying no names, so don't think I'm putting out. I'm just letting you know how this goes. Because when I do these readings, my purpose is to move people. See, this isn't bubblegum astrology. You don't just listen. That's why my views stay low. It's not bubblegum astrology. I'm not gonna make you just feel good just to get your money. I'm gonna make you think. So hopefully after you hear it, whether you ordered it or whether you're listening, it'll move you to think differently. Because everybody matters. Everybody matters. Not just people with money or not just everybody matters. And like I said, recently I had a woman who did her whole family. Now, unfortunately, a lot of those charts were implicating her. Now, what was I supposed to do? Oh, she paid me, so I'm going to water that down. No, I told the truth. What's ever on the chart. Because, again, we have to deal with it. I would do the same. If I did my chart, I would do the same thing. I'm not, like I said, just like I just did just now. You may think I'm putting these people on blast, but y'all don't know who they are. Y'all don't know me. So I'm not really putting them on blast, but I'm using a circumstance to wake people up. That's how I do natal charts, but everything is confidential. I just got a robocall yesterday, and it's funny because and this congressman, he helped me big time because I had a situation where a lot of powerful people, they was just fucking with me. It's like when you like I got a righteous light, so I'm always in some type of war, and like I said, paperwork will be on my side, so this is how you know I'm not lying. All right, give me a second. I just want to handle this real quick. Because I just got a robocall yesterday. And even then, I thought it was strange. And I was doing somebody's natal chart then, and a woman who she said it was strange. And even I didn't know he's on 504 Broadway. That's another number. Because I used to go to 504 Prospect Avenue. That's Deliverance Temple. So I need y'all to bear with me. This is going to be real quick. Okay, just give me 1 second. Hi, hello? Hi, this is Pastor Gary. I was calling for Congressman Pallone just to tell him thank you for going after the robocalls. I got one yesterday and I did file a complaint. It is Pastor Gary, Neptune, New Jersey. Oh, I can't because I'm actually online, so I can't give that out. I'm sorry? Oh, this is Monmouth County. Yeah, he knows our family. He comes to all of our events. See, I would give out, but see, I have people listening right now while I'm doing this because I'm like recording. Because I just see what happened. I was actually recording and I got the email from Congressman Pallone, so I just called him. It's just my instinct. I just called him right back. It's Pastor Gary. That's okay. Gary. Yes. No, but what I did, I got the call yesterday, and so then I filed a complaint online with the do not call. complaint. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye. All right. So that was it. I didn't know she was gonna ask all those questions because last time I called, the woman just said, "Okay, thank you." But this one was like, "Well, what's your address?" And where I was like, "Oh, wait a minute." I would do that if I was offline. I would. I said, "Nah, too many crazies. Then I'd be killing somebody." You know what I'm saying? All right. So that's it. So, but he's helped me a lot. Like one time, just it's crazy. But I'm always in shit. That's why I said, when you're actually in light, and this has been going on my whole life since I've been here. When you're in light, all you see is like hell. And that's why I'm trying to tell you. Say, well, what happened with the neighbors? I couldn't give you a reason. All I can tell you is it's a war between light and darkness. And unfortunately, I did everything so that it didn't escalate. But unfortunately, it did. But the point you should be taking, Taurus in the third house, is realize that don't think you're above. You know, if you should answer a question, answer. Like, and they should have answered. It was their stuff coming down, so they should have been mature enough to address with it. But see, the third house is somebody really immature. They think they don't have to address it. The third house is all about short this, short that, short that. Give me mine, and then that's not my problem. But then that's how it blows up. And then what happens? Like I said, your reputation comes out. Everything comes out. So that's what the situation is. All right. Now let me put this in here. Alrighty. Give me a moment. Alright, now what I have to do, I'm going to hit pause for the simple fact that the landscapers are done. And I have to move my car because, like I said, a lot of politics. But let me just explain something. There's two landscapers that do this little area we live in. The other landscapers, just like when I used to cut grass, we never had to move cars. If we were cutting grass, we were very careful. And if we thought we couldn't make it without something flying out of the lawnmower and busting something, we just wouldn't do it. We let the people know, sorry, we couldn't get to it. Or we're not going to do it, and say, could you move that? And just so you know, we've had other landscapers. I never had to move my car before. And just other the second landscaper, nobody moves their cars. I've never seen him make anybody move their car. But this landscaper busted out something one time, and then whenever that happens, it goes into whose fault it is, and people are denying it, and again, that gets ugly. They did eventually pay for it though, but now they just say you got to move the car. So now they're done. I got to move the car because also the neighbor across the street where my car is parked, so I can't park in my neighbor's house no more because they throw a fit. Even though nobody parks there, they don't want me over there. That's cool. I'm not mad about it. So I park at my neighbor's house, but I had to check her one time because she actually threw all her illegal garbage in my can. So in other words, like if the township would come and would catch you for illegal garbage, you would get the ticket, not them. But I busted them. They didn't think I went back out there later on for some reason, tried to throw something in the can, and it was heavy. I said, how is this can so heavy? It's nothing in here. And I looked, it was all their stuff. So I took all that stuff out and put it back on their curb. So that's where my car is parked right now. So I try to get it out of there as fast as possible as soon as the landscapers are done. So it's a lot of drama, but like I said, it's warfare. But now you say, what does that have to do? It has to do with Taurus in the third house because this is your community. This is your brotherhood. This is the people you're around. But this is how you avoid stuff popping out like that. Like with me, at the end of the day, even this gentleman I just called, it just happened that way. Like when she asked me that question, I wasn't expecting her to ask my address and all that. I thought that was a little weird. But I guess that's what he does. Because last time I called, she just said thank you and got off the phone. But he came to my aid. This is a congressman out here in Jersey. He came to my aid because a big old financial institute. They were actually taking money out of my account. And then my account would bounce. And then they would try to charge me again. So it went to, I actually, and I didn't want to go to war with it because I think I'm going to get locked up, you know. But God will do that. God will throw you in these wars, but that's how changes are made. So you can't be afraid. Like, God will just start throwing you into all this stuff. Because, like, once I'm a Leo, once I go into war, I won't back down. And that's how changes get made. So if you heard this on your reading, it's a reason for it. But what I'm telling you primarily is the Taurus and the third house. Because it was all about finances and your neighbors and speaking up, but also realizing if you're wrong, being mature enough, because the third house is very immature, being woman enough to handle your stuff so that it doesn't blow out like this. All right, so when I come back, we will be getting on with this chart, but I'm going to move my car. All right, now a couple of things I got to say. So when I went out there, see, a lot's been going on, but a lot of supernatural stuff, but I talk about that on my other channel. A lot of, because you get a lot of animal messages, you got a lot of messages, not just animal though, all kind of messages, but you got to be, like the Bible says, ears that hear. Everybody's not ready for that, so I don't talk about a lot of stuff. But on that channel, I talk about everything. I don't hold any So there was a lot of stuff going on with. There's one bird that if you see it, it means great stuff's gonna happen in your life. And that bird was out there, like it was at, and then even another one showed up. It was one bird, another one. They were all by the pile. All this stuff going on with my neighbor, but it was my pile. But I had all these messages from the universe, like, oh, we're not going to let them get away with this. Like, we know they're lying, and we know what they've been doing to you for 7 years and stuff. And now it's time for them to pay. And that's why I try to tell people, like, with this last full moon was all about karma, and I knew it was coming. And that's exactly when that so-called war, it ended on a full moon. That's when they finally backed up and backed all that stuff up. It was like a military. It was really like a military. Like, they really thought they was going to do what they wanted to. Said, no, you're not. I was like, you're going to do what you want to right to this line. I said, if you cross that line, it's over for you. Because you're going to be exposed for who you really are. And I'm not going to back down. You guys have been playing with me for 7 years, and the game's over. And it was over. So that was that. So now when I went out there today, like I said, but you got the other neighbor across the street that threw all that stuff illegally in my can. And she's been ticketed by the township, too, for the same stuff. So I try to, you heard me, I try to get out there and move my car as fast as possible, but I saw that same colored bird again, once again, and our landscapers did take all the grass, because I told him on a phone call that they don't want you leaving that grass out there unless it's the same day they're supposed to take it. They don't want no more stuff, because the township is sick of me calling, and they know I've been threatening to go above them, because like, you're always in this shit. Like you're like when you really do what you're supposed to, that's how you know you're doing what you're supposed to, because you're going to see resistance. There is a war of darkness and light. Now that lady was out there too. The other lady, now my neighbor's behind me, but the one across the street where my car was parked just now. But she didn't say nothing to me, which was good. But she knew I don't play either, because I had to tell her. Like, after they did that, I said, that's one. When they threw all that stuff. And it was funny, that was when I first came to this channel. And then the same day I came to this channel or whatever, that's when they threw all that stuff in my can. So all this stuff has a reason. Just like a lot of dates that you gave me, if you knew how close those dates are to stuff with me and the family and stuff. But I always say we're all one. And that's what they just said about Taurus in the third house. You got to learn that we're all one. Nobody's better than the other one. We're all in different circumstances. But you can use your circumstances to help others and stuff like that. That's what I do. So, again, I want to thank God for that, seeing that beautiful bird yet again. And the neighborhood does look good. But here's the bad part. Now we're getting, the neighborhood's beginning to look a lot better, because everybody's not got all this stuff out there. And like I said, they'll put it out there like a week or two in advance, and then it's just seeping down and seeping down. The whole street looks horrible because of it. But now somebody showed up and broke all this glass and bags out of a car. So even though the neighborhood, that little area will look nice, it still looks horrible. But that's life. You're in a battle. It's never going to stop. You've got to learn how to just breathe, let it go, and realize, stay positive despite the negative around you. So that was your third house. Let me see. With Taurus. But see, Taurus can be strong. Taurus is a hard worker, and Taurus is patient. Now, here's what you really want to look at. Now, Chiron is the wounded healer, but your Chiron doesn't have an aura. An aura usually means a retrograde. Now, your true north node or your north node should have an aura. That should be the only thing on your chart that has an aura. Anything else that has that little aura means it's like some past life stuff, some internal stuff, and maybe karmic, and you have to be aware of it. If you do see a true north node without the aura, that might mean that person went through a hardship, whatever house that's in. So you got Chiron. So basically, 21 degrees is Saturn, but that could be karmic. The Saturn energy is the world card. The world card. That could also mean she's very materialistic, because that's the world card. But it could also be very karmic, almost in the sense like you deserve it. But also it could be healing for you. Like, and they said emotionally speaking, this person has to be, nice stuff and stuff like that. And they already said that. I was just reading it, and they said if they don't have that, it could actually affect them emotionally or even psychologically. So they have to have the Taurus third house and stuff. But they have to realize that, see, it's all right to live like a queen, but you got to watch that diva stuff and acting like a queen, because it's gonna come back just like it just did with them people. Because I wasn't backing down no more. That was, listen. Normally I don't give a person 2 times to disrespect. I gave them 7 years, and I just kept saying, "No, they'll get over it. And they just never did. And the whole time I was scratching my head, going, "What did I do to these people? The way they treat me is like I've never been in their yard, never touched none of the property, never touched none of the cars. Why are they doing this?" But it's all karmic. It's all like the universe. And I had, like I said, a whole lot of stuff with all kind of stuff, supernatural stuff, a lot of full moon stuff with those people, over and over again. All right. So now we're going not to your 4th house. Are we going to your 4th house yet? Yeah. See, a lot of times, 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of times we're like the people around us. Now, your 4th house is your teenage to adult education, land, property, real estate, family, and ancestors. Whoever raised you as a mother position, that would be Imam Coeli. Imam Coeli. Now, opposite that, you see the MC, that's Medium Coeli. Medium Coeli often deals with your career, but not always. And also deals with your true north node. So you have Gemini again. So when you have Gemini in this house, so you may have a connection to education, whatever that might be. Could definitely be you or somebody, around you. Because what I said about your 4th house and 3rd house. And this is why I said it's good to take notes, because you got to understand, I'm led by spirit. Everything I said. Now, most people are gonna say, "Man, I didn't need to hear all that." But yeah, somebody did, because it was about Taurus in the 3rd house and what happens when you feel like, I got mine. I don't have to hear what you talking about. Talk money to me. If you ain't talking money, you ain't making no sense to me. Like you might be that. I'm not saying you are, but you might be that type of person. And then that's what happens. So shit blow the fuck up because you wasn't listening. Because I got sisters too. I got the same mad crazy stuff, because there's always that attitude where somebody think they don't have to be called for whatever they did. And sometimes you are. And like I said, what happens in our case, even though it was only a low level of the township, that could have blew up. Because if I get mad at you and just dump some stuff, that's really a crime. I can't just come in front of your crib and just like, boom, oh yo, I'm sick of so and so running their mouth. F them and just drop some stuff on you. That's a crime. So like I said, and I actually said that when they did what they did, when they dumped all this stuff, because what the township had already came and taken everything. Now, of course, there's gonna be little stuff on the ground. Of course, it's summertime. Of course, there's gonna be little stuff left. She sent one of her people to clean that up and throw that on our side. I was like, man, what the? I flipped out, man. I was like, yo, I said, you need to. I said, this is a trespass. I went off. I was wilding because I was just mad. Like, I don't care, but you won't do your stuff. But you throwing all this stuff on my stuff, and it's not even our stuff. That stuff that was left behind by the township, that's not our stuff. Our stuff was in the truck. That's why we put it. Unlike y'all, so it was funny, but at the time I wasn't laughing. So my point being made, that little stuff you gonna, if you are that way that she is, you gonna meet that one person that ain't gonna back down, and then that's how God gonna discipline you. But so far it look good, because it's your Chiron is direct, which means you don't have no problem in that area with a wounded healer. 21, but it is karmic, so you still got to be cool. See, remember I told you that karmic full moon? That's when they finally backed up. They pulled all that stuff out, and they made sure the landscapers took everything. Like, our street ain't never been this clean, because there's always somebody putting somebody on that curb. So that's why I'm looking at it like, it's sad that this had to happen, but maybe it was necessary. Because, see, to make a long story short, I'm just going to keep it 100. You dealing with a lot of women, and they're gonna be what they're gonna be. It's just the way it is. No disrespect. I got a mother, I got sisters, I got these neighbors. They like a family to me, but they want their way when you can't have your way. They want, and that's how it's dangerous. Like, let me give you another example. Tell my deuce all the time. Don't be laying in the house sleep with these windows open. Our neighborhood ain't like it was years ago. Understand? Now mine, I start the 60s, 70s up, but she go back earlier. She go to 50s and all that. 1970s. You and your whole family could leave your doors wide open and go to a foreign country. 1970s. Any old person will tell you this. You could leave your doors open. Both of them. Wide open. Screen door wide open. Inviting them to come in. Front door, back door. Leave them wide open. You out of the country. You somewhere in the Bahamas. You in Africa somewhere. Dancing or whatever. Oh no. Now, when you come back a week later, 10 days later, ain't nobody been in your house. Ain't nobody touched nothing. Not a bug. Not anybody been in your house the whole time. You had both your doors wide open. You try that now. Try that now. Walk out your house, leaving the doors wide open. I can almost guarantee you, within the 2 to 5 minute ratio, somebody's in your joint. So you have some people that think they're in the same neighborhood. I saw the lady up the street. I used to be over the house with her son. She still do it, but she like one of the deep Christians. She believe that's all she believes is Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. She still leave her doors open like that. That's how she used to do years ago. I'd be like, that lady don't know. It only take a second. It only take a second. So I be telling this one, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. But they hard headed. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't listen. So one time I had like something, an event at a church or something I went to. So I left, came back, within 90 minutes, 2 hours, whatever it was. As soon as I come back, the person got a stupid look on their face. So I'm looking at them like, okay, then what's the problem? They talking crazy. What are you talking about? So she points at the window, and it's a big old hole cut through the screen. So now I'm looking at this person furious. Because now you could have got killed, you could have got raped, anything could happen. Why are you going to have a door or window open here? You in the back of the house sleeping. What do you think's going to happen? And then my point is, then they still didn't live up to it. So then they tried to make it seem like, oh no, that's not. Yeah, that is what happened. So these are wars you find yourselves in. So unfortunately, when these options come up for me to talk about it, they come up for a reason. Don't be so arrogant that you don't hear somebody giving you wise advice. And don't wait till the war start. Because I'm telling you, especially remember that 21 is your friend right now. 21 is karmic. That's the world card, but that's a karmic card. It's about endings, but it's also about karma. Meaning, and this is your communication house. So if you speak it because of the karmic energy, it can come about. So you also got to watch what you say. Watch how you say it. Now, once again, Gemini rules that house, but now Gemini is in your 4th house with Mars. And Mars at 24 degrees, wow, you got a 24, 24. 24 is the return. The return is, say, a year ago you was on Martin Luther Boulevard, because stuff is always popping off on Martin Luther Boulevard. Why the black people want to fight on his boulevard? Y'all should be peace. He was about peace. But anyway, y'all know how it is. So you on Martin Luther Boulevard, Martin Luther King Boulevard, and somebody smacked the crap out of you. Right? Now you mad. So you leave. But 24 is when you come back, the return. So now you got 24, 24. We're going to look that up. But what it's saying is Mars is going to be ready to go. When you got Mars and Gemini, that means that communication is going to be immature, but always ready to go. Ready to go. Like I just got finished saying. People ready to go to war. You never came out your house one time to clean up none of these piles. You never sitting under your men to clean up none of these piles. But the day you trying to prove that I'm doing that you was doing, you send your men to pick up all the stuff off the street and throw it in our yard to make a point. So that's that type of person. That's that type of person. They'll lie to keep their reputation looking shiny. But you don't understand, once there's paperwork, nowadays people got cell phones. You're better to just go. Whenever somebody brings something to your attention that is your fault, It's just better to go, oh, I wasn't aware of it. Oh, no, we'll take care of it. Even if you don't like to say sorry, you don't got to say sorry. All you got to do is say, oh, I wasn't aware of it. I'll take care of it. That's it. But when you think you're going to duke it out, you ain't going to do that. Especially if it's somebody like me. I've been fighting my whole life. I know how to fight. I be sitting back. Like when people be lying, I just be sitting back documenting everything. Good. Gotcha. Over. All right. So that's what you got here in the 4th house. That communication, little immaturity, because that's what Gemini is. And Mars ready to go. But that 24, we have to learn about it. And then see your Mercury. Wow. Mercury too. 28 degrees. That's somebody out of balance. And you know what number 9 is? That's a person that sees what they want to see. So you just like my moms. You could show that person all you want. Because that's another very successful person. You understand? I see it all the time. My mom's been all around the world. She a little old lady. She still be in foreign countries. Ain't nobody telling her jack diddly squat. So I seen it my whole life. My sister's the same way. And there's nothing wrong with being like that. But you have to realize what you just said, the 3rd house. There's other people around you. And that's where people make their mistake. You keep stepping on these people, and then they start to step back. And once you hurt somebody's feelings, or whatever the case might be, which another thing is the 3rd house, they're not going back down. And that's the type of person now that's a nut job. That's a person up 3 o'clock in the morning. How am I going to get him? Writing out everything. I'm going to get this out. Because now you don't piss this person off. And now they're not going to get away with this. So that's why you got to watch that. Watch who you're around. Watch how you relate to people and stuff like that. Even if you don't care, it's all right not to care. I ain't even mad at you. Even if you don't care, but you got to act like you care. Like, oh, really? Oh, all right, I'll take care of it. Even if inside you say, oh, man, this dude need to grow the fuck up. This idiot. But don't tell that person that, because that person going to be like, oh, okay, I'm an idiot. Okay, I'll show you who's an idiot. Okay, 3 o'clock in the morning planning. You trying to sleep with this person all up in your ear, all up in your dreams, because they're sitting at the desk seeing how they're going to get you. That's real world, y'all. All right. So now, you definitely got that communication thing. You got to be careful. You just can't be saying what you think or feel. Like, see, what happens with your chart, your Mercury and Gemini is about thinking, but you got Mars there and you got Aries. You understand? So your thinking is not going to be based on rational thinking. It's going to be based on emotional thinking, and it's going to be going off the hook. And usually that type of person really don't want nobody to try to check them, try to correct them. But what I be trying to tell people is the real world don't work like that. Like, there was a movie out called about Joe Clark, Principal Joe Clark from Paterson, New Jersey. And that's what he went. It was a black school, and he came in the clinic because no teacher could make it there, no principal could make it. Them kids was off the hook. Now, let's tell y'all real quick, because I know I've been out here on some other stuff. I grew up with this little white, light-skinned guy. His mom's was white, his dad was black, but he looked, he was real light-skinned. So he was kind of like couldn't fight. So I showed him how to fight, and from then on, he started fighting everybody. Well, that same kid ended up in Paterson, New Jersey, at the same time as Joe Clark. And he said they tried him because he looked like a white boy, but he's black. But because of what I taught him, he held his own. So he made it, and that was like at that time, that was one of the roughest schools you could be in. Now, in that movie, if you watched it, it was a black woman, and she was used to yelling and telling people what they're going to do and making people do what she wanted them to do and everything. So, a lot of the, say, police and people and fire department or whatever that were involved, they didn't want no problems because they didn't want to see no Al Sharpton. They didn't want to see none of that. So, they was like kind of like trying to just, okay. No, we'll look into it. We'll take care of it. No. So, they kept on pampering her. And the more they pampered her, the more arrogant she became. So in one of those scenes, she says it is high-ranking white man, but he's an official. He's like a fire guy or police, I forget. But she said something to him like, you better get this done or something like that. And then he checked her ass because he got sick of it. He checked her ass, and then she had to humble herself. And that's embarrassing. It is. When somebody finally had enough of your shit and humble you. But the universe will do that. And I'm going to tell you again, 21 is your friend right now, but it can also become your enemy because it's going to be karmic. That's the world card. And it is about endings and stuff. See, what I'm trying to say, endings could even be a loss of a job or something. That's why I'm telling you. The best advice I'm giving you, love don't pay the bills. So before we get into twin flames and all that, love don't pay the bills. So the God might have blessed you very nicely, but I'm telling you, be careful. Be careful. Because that arrogance, where you think you ain't got to answer to somebody, and then they finally get sick of it. Y'all saw that movie, remember on BET? Remember that woman used to be with I think with Cedric the Entertainer, that female? And you know what? She was such a great actress, this one beautiful woman of color. She was such a great actress that I hated her. I hated her on the Steve Harvey show because I thought that's how she really was. I hated because she was so uptight. I said, oh man, I hate her. But then when I saw her with Cedric, I said, oh no, I like her. She was just acting, and I was cool with it. But then when she had that scene, BET movie, I think it was about football players, and that's how she was. She was very powerful. But they finally clipped her. They finally decided they were going to fire her because they were sick of dealing with her. And they thought she was going to flip out. They thought she was going to go. She was just amped up all the time. Like this Mars and Gemini and Aries all over the place. They thought she was going to flip out when they fired, but they were just sick of her. So they finally manned up and said, she got to go. We sick of her. So they fired this black woman now. She in that office, and they like going for cover. They all hiding this, y'all. But they think she coming out that office with it. They think she coming out. And she is in that office. And she started singing spiritual songs and church songs and gospel. That shit. I said, man, that shit is so real. I was laughing. That is so real. So that is the third house. That is the fourth house. Everything I said, but it was a lot of immaturity there from somebody. Now remember, your fourth house could be whatever parents were there, whoever acted like a parent there, but it could also be you. It could also be family, who's ever in that house. But it's definitely a lot of harsh things being said. A lot of Mars like combative stuff. Now remember, 24 is the return. So again, what you spit out comes back. All right, so we're going to look at numerology number 2424. All right, give me one moment. All right. And see, look at your chart. See how it makes a pyramid from Gemini to Capricorn. It makes a pyramid, and then it kind of points to Scorpio a little bit of it points to Libra, the relationship, business partnerships, and see the 21 again. So it's almost like they're telling you like whatever you do, it's gonna hit you again. Like your shit is like karmic. Cause like I said, I don't know how deep you was in Chicago, but that is real deal. You do this to me, I'm gonna do this to you. And your chart is saying that 24 is the return, 21 is real karmic. So they're almost like saying, okay, if you do this to do that, it's gonna affect you. Because Scorpio is also about power struggle. Mars, Aries, Scorpio. A lot of intensity, a lot of power struggle, a lot of domination. Like, oh, you know that female. I know you know that female boxer. I think she's undefeated. Black female. I think she's from Detroit. But yeah, so that's what your chart is basically saying. It's very karmic. But all I'm advising you to don't make sure you ain't the one starting it. Like up until now, it looks like you may have been like foremost, like really starting for whatever reason. But you gotta stop being that person because it's gonna get you. You like what you gotta understand. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like my family right now is real fucked up, and it's worse now because it was bad when this dude married into the family, or whatever. But now he's trying to be a different dude because you know now he's a father. He got 2 kids, so you become different as a man because you want to view yourself a certain way. But because of the situation, I'm always gonna be the same dude. When you see me, it's the same crazy people, same people starting junk and stuff like that. So he's looking at it differently, and he's looking at me differently. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at him like, it ain't my fault you scared to speak up. It's not my fault you scared. I'm not changing, and I don't follow nobody's fantasy. That's what if this is real. If you really did it, you understand it, I'm gonna respect that. But I don't go for none of that fantasy. You can't pay to make yourself look a certain way. You can, but it's still gonna be people that know you Say that's not even that part. If you gotta pay to make yourself look a certain way, there's something wrong with that picture. You know what I'm saying? Because I sit with like, oh, I apologize. You name, I mean, everywhere. I'm the same dude. Like the same dude you see here. If you met me in real life, I'm the same exact dude. The only difference people make a mistake with me is I'm a quiet person, but that's how people are. I'm not into all the silly stuff. You know what I'm saying? The moment you think something make you something, it don't. Who make you is you. And that's why when you go to disputes with people, you think you're gonna win because, oh, I got this reputation. I'm telling you, that's why you're gonna lose. Because your stronghold is in some material thing. But like when you get in courts and stuff, it's gonna be on the paperwork. And if that court lie, like if that judge lie, you're gonna appeal and go to another judge. It's a dude they put away. He trying to get out right now. I ain't gonna say his name. Y'all probably know who I'm talking about. He about to get out right now. Because that stuff was based on fake shit. So even though it was paperwork, it's based on fake shit. So now he's gonna be retried on real with real. One man, they locked him up. He ain't had no peers. Our Constitution says you have to be judged by your peers. He hit none of his peers, so of course he's gonna get locked up. He's being judged by a bunch of people that like don't hate it. They hate his ass anyway for the color of his skin. So he's gonna be tried again. So you don't win. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So that's where he's at. And again, he's a Taurus too. And right now we were talking about Taurus energy. Because you gotta understand, when we go to your house, if I be going Taurus, you might say, oh, I'm not no Taurus. But in your third house, you are a Taurus. You handle your third house like a Taurus. Because that's the energy that's in your house. And when you become aware of this stuff, then you make things differently. And that's how you improve. That's why you get your natal chart. See, can no psychic do this? Can no card reader do this? Like they can be shuffling the cards and they can go, oh, I think you got a karmic, whatever. But karmic where? What house? Where do I have karmic at? Then they don't really know. And then, like I said, when you don't see it, this is why sometimes they got to keep clarifying. But when you see it, it's right here. How many times can you clarify when it's right here? Mars is going to be in your fourth house. And if you don't need no clarify card, you don't need none of that. I'm not saying that stuff's not good because I use my angel cards. I'm not saying that's not good, but when they listen, I'm going to tell y'all again. I've been with all respect. Because that's what's most important to me. All respect. I've been with all type of people. I've been in the street with thugs, gangsters. I've been in big corporate organizations with like rich people, Caucasians and stuff. But the respect is the same. But I've been the same dude and gonna stay that way. Even if I made a lot of money, you best believe if I was somewhere in the islands, surrounded by beautiful women, you understand? If they say, yo, Gary, somebody says something over there on the street, you think I won't get my helicopter and come smack that dude in his face? That'll never change. But that's how I was brought up. And when I was brought up, it was different. Like everything was different. Like when you was a G, you was really a G. Not now. It's just different. Anybody could be a G now. How many people you killed and all that stupid stuff, all that self-destructive stuff. So that's what matters. Because when you go into warfare, when somebody come from you, right? When somebody come for you, you're gonna be worrying about what? Your reputation. Who's gonna find out about this? Yeah, what am I gonna lose? And that's how you lose. Because you're not worrying about the warfare that's coming your way. You're worrying about all the stupid stuff that can be taken like this. Going quick. Any one of us could get in a car accident. Going quick. So that's why I'm saying you can't. Yours is saying too much 21s and see your 21 is at Pluto again, and that rules Scorpio. So you always have to worry about that, and it's going when it come back, it's going to hit. And see your Pluto is right next to your Saturn. You understand? That's karma. So it's almost like you walking on like quicksand and don't realize it. That's why you get your natal chart done. Not because you go, oh, I wish I hadn't got it done. No, you needed it done because you're not aware of this, and ain't nobody gonna tell you that. The cards ain't gonna be able to tell you that. The only way a card reader is gonna be able to tell you that if a spirit come and say, tell her this. Because over that card reader is gonna be going typical card reading. It's not gonna be telling you what's really going on your chart, not on your natal chart. So that's why I said I wouldn't go looking for trouble. And if somebody ran up on me and said, yo, you did this, if I knew I did it, I would just go, oh, all right, no problem, I'll take care of it. That's all. If you got a problem saying sorry or whatever, but you better acknowledge something. Just like I said, I was just talking to Miss Drama Queen just now. I came in, I said, yo, they took everything. And then they ain't say nothing. So then I just looked at them like, I said something back to them. Because they didn't want to acknowledge me. But the problem mine, all this stuff I'm getting myself in is really this person's problem. But they ain't never here. Like I said, they always out the door. So I get stuck with all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with none of it. So I was like, yo, they took everything. So they just looked at me and said, I think she shook her head a little bit. I said, yeah, you better shake your head. I said, you think this is a joke? I said, ain't nothing funny about this. I said, the township is serious. They don't want to see no more stuff. Then they said, I know. All right. So you want to do your 24, your 24. See, this is why I wish y'all kept up on both my channels. Now it's a female that had a dream. She's dealing with a Taurus too. And all kind of stuff is going on with her. So that's why I keep pausing this to see what she's talking about. Alright, so that's what I'm saying. On your chart, that's in the energy is very powerful. You gotta remember one thing. Adolf Hitler was a Taurus. Taurus had this magnetic power. So you just gotta be aware of that. But what I'm telling you, yours is karmic. So it's like a boomerang. It's like you throwing a boomerang at somebody and that shit come back and hit you or hit one of your kids and stuff. So I tell you how spirituality really works. I guarantee Pharaoh, the one that's in the Bible with Moses, I guarantee that Pharaoh probably had a lot of Taurus and a lot of Leo. And they even say on Solomon's throne, one of his statues was like part bull, part lion. But see, that type of person, you got to be careful because if they can't take instruction, if they're not humble, see, those qualities are good to have because Taurus is real patient and Taurus is real hardworking and stuff. But when you're stubborn and stuff like that, you understand? Because on your chart, it's the communication that they want you to become more, where you're listening to people and not being scared. Because I know you ain't scared. I can already see it on your chart. But you got to be wise. See, I'm a general because I done been in so many fucking wars. I know how to fight. I done fought everybody, from niggas, people in the street, rich white people, you name it. I done been in war with these people, and I don't like my record is impeccable. I'm like the Mike Tyson of this shit. So. Like you said, my defense is impregnable. So anyway, so that's what I'm trying to tell you. If I'm talking this way, it's because that's on your chart. That's the energy coming off your chart. It's not just me. Oh, why are you talking about? Yeah, because the energy is on your chart. And like, if you be honest with it, you probably been through shit like this in your life, some type of way. You've been around that type of stuff I'm talking about. And if you haven't been, and this is like a warning, because the universe is saying, okay, because of your karmic situation, it's about to get like that. So the universe is trying to help you realize, listen, you got to learn how to be diplomatic. Like anybody that's got anything, learn how to be diplomatic. Don't think your shit better than anybody else's. That's why I know a lot of people that have a lot of money, they'll act like they ain't got no money. But I know some people that got a lot of money. I'm not saying you got to do this, but I see people do it. Like when they know you a famous star, if you go to a restaurant and if you don't leave a big ass tip, they're going to be talking shit about you. You're going to be in the newspaper and stuff. And I don't agree. You should be glad if anybody left a $2 tip. Like, I'm that type of dude. I got some people give me $5. I'll be thank you. I need that money. I'm broke, y'all. I'm broke. I need that. So I'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? I treat, but see, I'm a different dude. I treat, somebody could give me $1. I treat that the same as somebody gave me a lot of money. It's just, I'm thankful. But whenever you're dealing with people, you're dealing with persona. And in your case, the third house is people. That's the brotherhood. And you get ready to deal with Aquarius. In the 11th house, that's friends, association, and groups. So you're always going to be in some type of spotlight. So you have to learn that rule that it's all about coming across as we're all the same. Even if deep down you don't feel that way, but you better project it out in public. Because if you don't, it's coming for you. It's going to be karmic. All right. $24. And see, when it's 24, it's almost telling you it's going to be a double return. And also, like 24, twin flame, 24 for one twin, 24 for the other twin. 24. And just so you know, you just got to understand numerology. It's 24 is 66. 66 books in the Bible. 24 is about being patient a little longer. There's a bigger plan that needs to fall into place so that the right doors of opportunity present itself at the right time. So it says, avoid jumping at the first thing that pricks your interest. Wait for clear and obvious signs that will guide you in the right direction. And remember, this is at your Mars 24, because Mars is known for being exactly jumping right up. Do not be too hasty when making choices and decisions that will have a long-term impact on your life. And that's exactly what I'm telling you, because everything's going to come back on you. Think through positive. See, y'all got to understand about Pharaoh if y'all never read the Bible. When Moses first went to Pharaoh, he told Pharaoh, the Lord has said, these Hebrews are my firstborn. Let my firstborn go, or I'm going to take your firstborn. So before any plague hit Egypt, Pharaoh knew. But he still wanted to duke it out with God. He thought his hands was big enough and large enough to box it out with God. And it wasn't until Egypt was destroyed and the final plague, and he had just threatened Moses. Like I said, dudes like me, we've been around forever. I'm still anointed no matter what people talking about. I could care less what somebody talking about me. I done seen what God did in my life. So when you go against somebody like that, it's only going to be somebody falling. It's not going to be somebody. Anybody with God ain't falling. It just ain't happening. So that's what happened with Pharaoh and Moses. And so then the next time, Pharaoh said to Moses, don't ever come before me again. If I ever see you again, I'm going to put you to death. And then that's when his firstborn got struck, right after that. And then he called Moses, begging Moses to leave. Get out of here. All of y'all, all you Hebrews, get out of here. Get out of here, leave. And guess what he said? And bless me. And that's funny. You're going to ask God to bless you after all that stuff. But I thought that was smart. That was a smart move. That showed he was a Pharaoh. Because he actually had the nerve to ask God for a blessing after putting God through all that drama, destroying your entire whatever. So they're telling you to think more, think through. This is 24. Think through possible scenarios and outcomes and pay attention to your emotions, as your feelings will clearly indicate which choices to make. And still, because of what I'm looking at your chart, it's not just your emotions, it's your intuition, it's everything. You gotta learn how to just, like, that's what I mean, you gotta learn how to be strategic. I just told you with Pharaoh. Pharaoh was tough, and he knew he still needed a blessing, because he could use that blessing to restore Egypt after what God did to it. So he was smart for asking for that blessing. And he's asking for a blessing from the very same God that just struck his firstborn son down. So that's what they said, your emotions. They said trust your intuition, and you will know which path to take. Just like I told you, not just your emotions, because you're going to keep getting in trouble with this and that. It got to be emotions, intuition. What does the law say? Because the law do matter. Because I know, like, I don't know your background or nothing, but in some locations, people think the law don't matter. Oh, so-and-so this to me, I ain't worried about all that. I'm going to just go handle it. Okay, then you go handle it, then you get caught, and now they're looking at 7 to 10 years. So that's why real criminals, they handle it, but they got a different way of doing shit. Like when you did it, organized crime and stuff like that, they handle it not like the old days, just pull out a gun and shoot the guy in the street or whatever, drive by, take him out like Capone or something. They don't do that no more. They do it totally different now. You're still gonna get it. May take a little bit longer, like Tupac said. May take a little bit longer, but they still gonna get it. And if you really want to be honest, you still see a lot of people Tupac said that was gonna get it. They still getting it. Make you wonder if he's still alive or not. I don't know. I'm from Jersey, Pac Outlaws. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Trust your intuition, and you will know which path to take. Trust yourself to continue on your current path, but only if that path feels totally right to you on all levels. If not, change the path now. Now, this is 24. So this ain't Gary now. This is Sacred Scribes, angelnumbers.com. Sacred Scribes, angelnumber.blogspot.com. Number 24. 24 is saying exactly what I just said, so that you know it's not coming from me. It's coming from... And the reason why it's 24 is 66, because ain't none of us above the word of God. And that's why I said, now these fake witnesses, they got the New World Translation, which is not a Bible. That's some fake shit. I used to be a witness. Back in the day, I used to go to the same Kingdom Hall they did. Maybe that's why they so mad at me. I don't know. Maybe I'm their lost son and they're disappointed. I don't know. I don't know why these women came for me. I'm still scratching my head like, what was that all about? So that's what's up. See, I feel good right now. So I got a friend, and she's dealing with a Taurus too, and she just had a dream. Did a lot of stuff because a lot of stuff went down with this full moon and stuff, and now with the new moon. So I got all videos for all of that. Um, so she's been telling me about it. Then she was telling me a little bit more, and she's talking to this gentleman she met. And ever since she met this gentleman, all kind of weird shit is happening. Now keep in mind, I already got a friend out in Cali. There's females out in Cali too, and my friend out in Cali went through the same shit. So to me, I done seen this shit before. Now when I seen it, I wasn't even metaphysical. You know what I'm saying? Typical, whatever. Typical dude out in Jersey. You know about church. You know about Jehovah's Witnesses. You know about the Bible. You know about supernatural stuff, but not metaphysical stuff. So my dude just left at 2:14. That's when I was born, but I was 2:14 a.m. and she just left. So I know. See, that's why I said you gotta sit and listen to this your chart. Don't view it like, why is he talking about that? I'm talking about it because there's a reason. It's higher than you. It's like the universe is kind of trying to give you all this information, and we just getting started. We almost at an hour and a half already. So anyway, I'm just showing you how God love people. Y'all gotta listen. This is God. I mean, it's like when I went out to move that car, that red bird was right there, and that lady ain't saying nothing to me. She could say, "Hey, I appreciate if you don't park your car over there," because she could still be mad because I told her she was just off the hook. A lot of times I ain't going back over that. None. I'm not. Remember, it's two different neighbors. One behind me. I know not to park nowhere near them people because they crazy. Just leave them alone. I ain't even mad at them. Just leave them alone because them people crazy. But the lady across the street, like, at least she listened. When I told her to stop that, she stopped. Because she was off the hook too. I was like, yo, you gonna have to stop doing this a second time. And I didn't even call her by her name. I called her like military. I called her by her house address and junk. Like if her number, say her number is 704. I was like 704 Pine Street. Don't put no more. I went on. Cause that was the second time. And like I hated to go back. That shit I used to be. I was that dude you would see by myself. Like I never travel with no dudes. I'd be that dude outside your house early in the morning just waiting for you to come out. Like I don't play. Like don't play with me like that. So I tried to grow up and be an old man, minding my own business. But they just started messing with me more and more. Like they started calling me out. Like, yo, y'all had to chill. Y'all don't forgot. Y'all don't forgot them days. So anyway, getting back to this female, which does have something to do with you because we was talking about that Taurus energy, which is really it's just stubborn energy. You can call it Taurus if you want to, but this is a stubborn person. They have their way. They have the way they look in their life, and they think their valuables mean they the best. Because I've had my brother-in-law say that to me. He tried to tell me the fact that he was driving around in a Lexus meant that he was better, like a better man than me or something. And I basically tried to tell him that engine in your Lexus is made by the same people that have an engine in my car. And he didn't want to believe it. He didn't want to look it up. So I hate when I'm talking to somebody that don't want to deal with facts and don't want to do no research. So that's why I said, as long as you're dealing with that type of energy based on every other thing I said about the family situation, it's not going to be close. It's not going to be close. And unfortunately, it's sad, but the bottom line is, and I hate to say this, but I didn't marry into the family. In fact, when I met his family, they were arrogant too. Even my grandmother said that. Rest in peace. And they're all Jehovah's Witnesses. And even she said they was acting like snobbish, like they were looking at us like we were beneath them. That's all I needed to say. I was like, fuck them. I don't have to know you. I'm not marrying you. Let me tell you what I did. I got to tell you this part. So I sat with them anyway, because I already knew I was gonna get some payback. So I sat with them the whole time. I sat with them. I didn't say nothing to them. So my sister getting married to their son, and I'm just sitting there because my father dead, so I'm like the man of the house. So I sat there through the whole procession. When the pastor said, "I pronounce you man and wife," I jumped up. I said, "Yay!" I was clapping for my younger sister. She's 3 years younger than me, and I said, "Yay!" and clap, clap, clap. And then I looked at both of them, his mother and father. I said, "Now she's your problem," and walked out the church and shit. That's the only thing I ever said to them. That junk was funny, and then I hate to say it, but the father said some slick shit to me later on in life, and he was dead. Like people that be messing with me be ending up dead and crippled. I don't do nothing to him. I don't do nothing dirty. Like I really believe in God. So even if I'm mad at you, I ain't gonna do no cursing now. But I will pray. I pray. But I never prayed against this dude or nothing. But he said some slick stuff about me, like right after he was dead. But that happened a lot. Even this lady next door, I'm talking about across the street, she can't walk no more. That's the lady that was throwing all this stuff in my garbage and all the stuff she was doing. So that's why I be telling people, whatever you do, it's gonna come back on you. So God gave you the right person to do your natal chart because this is stuff God said you needed to hear. And that's why I said people don't want to hear. That's why they don't want their natal chart. They just want a card reading because they want to hear about love and money and stuff. But you got stuff. We're all here for a reason. You're not just here to marry and just get on with your life. You're here for a reason. Plus, we've lived many lives. So you got to find out what's going on, because you may have to answer for all this stuff at the end. So you don't want to wait till then. That's why your 12th house is Pisces. That's all about the ending and the day of reckoning. And it's got the Christian symbol, the fish. Same symbol Jesus Christ uses. And he's the one that says he's going to judge you on the last day. So you should wake up a little bit. Don't think this is not a joke. This goes back to the ancients before us. Like our ancestors believe what I'm talking about. I don't believe the Matrix bullshit. I deal with the facts. Oh, so anyway, I'm just trying to show you how God loves his female. So now more and more about this guy she's talking about. So she said, she kept telling me all this weird stuff that's been happening. I said he's probably, I'm not going to say what he is because people get offended. But he's probably in a certain whatever. I'm not going to say no names. But I told her. So she was like, well, I don't know. And then I started telling her. So then she act like she don't know. Because when your heart is involved, you don't want to know. But you do want to know. So then I went right on YouTube right away. I typed it. What it was, and two things came up. But this is what's going to shock y'all. Two things came up to support what I'm saying. But the person that came against what that guy is a Catholic. And he's a lawyer. And she's both of those. And I didn't pick it. This is God. This is why I do what I do. Because I get to see the power of God every day. I get to see the power of God firsthand. Despite the lies and all the bullshit and the low views and all the hatred. But I get to see the power of God firsthand. From whatever, animal messages and things going on up in space. It doesn't stop. So I'm very happy, very energetic, because I have to have passion to live. I can't be a typical fake Christian or fake this, fake that, because I would die. I almost died in 1994 if it wasn't for my friend Talia out in Cali. It was her angelic voice that woke me up out of my slumber. And ever since then, I've been struggling through this planet. All right, so now we're going to keep it moving. I'm going to put this on pause. So let's finish the 24-24. So 24-24 means consider all your options. Weigh up what's truly important to you and what is not. Do not waste your time and efforts on activities or people that do not support or bring you joy, but rather choose to spend your time doing things and spending your time and efforts on things and people that suit your true self, that resonate with your life purpose and soul mission. And that's what I told you right from the beginning when I saw your chart. I said about that whole Venus energy you got over in your chart, and I said Pisces. Because you got number 3 degrees, which is the Empress. The Empress is Venus energy. So don't waste your time when somebody ain't gonna love you back. I don't know why y'all ladies do that. All these beautiful good guys, like y'all don't want the nerds though. Let's keep it real. Y'all don't want to know, but maybe y'all don't know. Get to know us. Get to know us, people. We're not bad people. My greatness is in my geekiness. So anyway, get to know us. Stop going for the guy that's just gonna hurt you, leave you, and all that other stuff. All right. They say if you are intuitively prompted to begin or expand a spiritually based practice or service-based venture, trust that all will fall into place for you and you will find opportunities and assistance in establishing the foundation that will lead to your desired result. Have faith and trust that your hard work in whatever way will bring rewards. All right, so they're trying to give you a better focus. I was going to say refocus, but then something said don't say refocus, just say a better focus. All right, I'm going to put this on pause. One other thing I got to say, if you do have neighbors that are cool, this won't matter, but people can be assholes, even people that have known you for decades, like my neighbors. So it's just better, instead of getting into all that crazy stuff, it's just better if your landscapers do take everything when they leave, because otherwise you can get fined by the township. Or if you live close to your neighbors, it might actually be their stuff, and they'll say it's not. And you'll still get fined because it's on your property now. And the township don't care. They're not going to, like, it's not like they're going to fight for you. They're just going to say, well, we don't care. It's on your side and we're going to fine you. And see, that would make me want to go back to how I used to be. So I'm glad. It's also 224 now. And I think, didn't you just have a number 24? Now it's 224. Yeah. So the universe is talking to you, but they're also talking to the other female at the same time. In both of these cases, we're dealing with Taurus energy. Interesting. I love my universe. And Taurus is what? It could be the second house. You have 224. Taurus will be the second house. 24 will be the return. In other words, whatever you do is going to come back on you. Or in your lifetime, you may be forced to go back to something to deal with it. because that's also the 24 could be karmic as well. And 44, you already got that 44 in your chart as well, because that's also 44. Even when Barack Obama took over number 44, y'all didn't know he was connected to Prince Hall Masons. And see, Prince Hall Masons, because they said the only they said that the only male of color that could sit on the presidency has to be a Prince Hall Mason. And Prince Hall Masons know the deep secrets. They probably know all about like the ancient people that used to run this country. Where they get Sambo from? Uncle Sam used to be like, all that's the Sirius constellation. It's like you the Dogon, all that stuff. Like the higher up you go in these secret societies, the more of the stuff they know. And other people don't know it, but the higher up you go, like the high ranking Freemasons know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, how do I know? Because the Bible tells you when God calls you, He's going to make you just as wise or wiser than the teachers and all that stuff. And I've been walking with God for decades. Best thing I did on this planet. Wouldn't want to do anything else. All right, I'll be back. All right, so I just talked to my younger sister. Like I said, our family don't get along. It's all crazy. But it be like the females. They start all that bullshit. Same thing I'm seeing on this chart, all that talking shit, talking crazy, but then they can't take it when they come back. And Virgo, the same way, because a Virgo love to talk shit, because my mom's a Virgo, my older sister a Virgo, and my younger sister, I'm sure she got a lot of Virgo on her chart. She's not a Virgo, her sun sign, but she grew up studying them, so those were like her role models. So it is what it is, but I'm still alive. Like I said, it was crazy. I'm people that know my whole story call me the modern day Joseph. This is a dude his own family tried to get rid of him and shit, so it is what it is, but I see a different world only because I understand, like I said, karma. You can't point it if you can't deal with it when it comes back. Anything you emit is going to come back. So now while all this is going on, plus I'm trying to do everything, multitasking, still got a lot to do today. I'm doing all this by myself. And I'm also trying to help out that other person because she's going through a horrible marriage breakup. And a lot of the universe is warning her though. Because now she got somebody else in her life, but it's not looking too good. And so the universe is warning her. So I tell any female, like I say here, like y'all must love it. Like, but if you could deal with it, go for it. Now me, I don't want no crazy. I don't have enough crazy people around me. I don't want no more heartbreak. I don't want none of that shit. So if anybody, like I said, I'm happy. That's what I ask myself every day. I feel great. Right now, if I want to jump in my car and just head north, I could do it. Ain't got to say jack to nobody. All I got to do is make sure I got enough gas and to pay the tolls or something. That's all I got to worry about. If my jump break down within 200 miles, I can hit and call AAA. After 200 miles, I'm stuck. I'm stuck, y'all. So I don't worry about it. If it work out, it work out. Like tomorrow, some people act like they got to have. Sometimes there's a reason why you single. Use that time to improve yourself. Use that time to learn psychology because that's what you're dealing with. See, I understand all that. I said God trained me. Like I said, that's how you really know a person anointed because you're gonna be trained for the position God put you in. So that's why I said. So talking to her on the phone, it was kind of funny talking to her now. So she acted a certain way, and they all act in a certain way, but they all act like they didn't start that stuff. And that's why I said these people, they all deal with one thing. They all have one thing in common. They all call themselves Christian, but they don't want. They'll lie in a heartbeat. They'll lie, and they don't want to be responsible for nothing they do. So that's why they have issues with me because we don't play that game. I deal with universal principles. Accountability is foremost. That's why it's called karma. So it's always gonna be problems. So every now and then, you let them know whatever, and they could act the way they want to act. But you just let them know, you got love for them, you pray for them, and all the time, shit like that. But then after that, like the phone go whatever way it go. But me and my little sister, I call her my little, because to me she my little sister, but she's a grown woman, 3 years younger than me. But she know that our family crazy. We always been crazy. Like 1960 house cops was over here all the time and shit. And then they had to come back again in 2001 and shit. So it's always been that way. So we have a dialect that's different. That's why I said we was in a suburb, but everybody came here. And I was a musician. So this house would be full of musicians. I don't even know them. I come home from school, and my house be full of people. I don't know none of them. And they be playing the instruments and stuff. But I told you back then you could do that. And when nothing be missing. You can't do nothing like that now. So our family always been connected, like street cats and all that. Just out of respect. And so, kind of like if you was raised with Dobermans, you might be somewhere way out of town where don't nobody know you. But you still got that Doberman in you. So when somebody try you, they're going to find out quick. Oh, no, not him and not her. Because you got that Doberman in you. Or Rockwile or whatever it is. So I've always had that. So So that's why I said so. With me and her, it's like that. It could, because she's mad about a lot of stuff, but whatever she mad about, she caused it. That's what I'm talking about. When you see Mars with Mercury and Mars with Gemini and in the fourth house of the family, imagine that. So that's my point. So no matter what she mad about, which she's never done. See, a lot of people never going to admit I was wrong. A lot of these people gonna go to their graves not accepting that they fucked up. So like my neighbors, all these people, none of these people saying I apologize and they mean it. One of the females that I was the closest to, this is when I was Jehovah's Witness. We were doing field service, and at that time I was about 20 years old. So all those women said we ain't gonna listen to him. He's just a baby to us. Ain't no baby. But it wasn't me. That's how the religion do it. It's supposed to be a male. This is how they do it, not me. It's supposed to be a baptized male that tells all the women, okay, you two work together, you two work together, you two work together. You go down this block, you go down that block. That's the way they're supposed to do it. But the women don't want it. So they rebel. If it's a young dude, they're gonna run over top of him. And like when you knew, you don't even know what the heck's going on. You're just trying to do the right thing. You knew, you're naive. So this is how the real world really works. And this is what you need to know. Because if you don't know this, that's how you get yourself caught up in some BS. Like this female, the universe is telling her to leave that man alone. Not Gary. Gary's not telling her shit. It's her dreams and everything is telling her to leave that man alone. But she told me, oh, I can't be happy. You can be happy. That's why the universe is telling you leave that man alone. But a lot of y'all don't listen to the signs. Y'all go get with the man and beat the hell out of you, sleep with your sister or some crazy stuff. And now you mad at the man. You should be mad at yourself. Hold yourself accountable. And you're mad because somebody tell you the truth. But that's how it's supposed to be. On your natal chart, everywhere you go, you got to start to listen to the universe. Do it like this. Universe is God. Like I said, 24 is 66. 66 books in the Bible. Listen to God. Easy. And once you get over that hump called ego, stuff becomes easy. And you see how your life becomes better. I love my life. I love myself. I love my life. So ain't nobody going to take my joy. But you can give it away by getting with the wrong people, going to the wrong church to worship. You gave it away. So now all this karma is hitting you up your ass, and now you're wondering why. You gave it away. Just like her. She's free right now. She's out of that marriage. Needed to be out of that marriage. Dude was a nut job, abusive. She's out of the marriage, and now she's free. But instead of her trying to smell the air and just be thankful that you're free a little bit, she would have died back in again. So the next guy's a nut job, connected to secret arts and stuff like that. And now the universe is warning her to back up. So thank God I'm here. Because I can say, hey, listen, I can't keep talking to you. I'm not getting paid for this. But for whatever the universe is saying in this case, do it. Because I don't want to see her get beat up again. Because she's had a horrible life. Plus, I got a connection to her based on, she's connected to a lot of saints. A lot of the saints she's connected to are female saints that were raped at teenage and young girls and stuff like that. But a lot of those saints come to me. So that's how I know this is a special case. Like all this is intuitive. Like once you break out of this matrix, you go back to what your ancestors knew and you get your power back. That's all I'm doing. So again, it's sorry if things are a certain way with family members and stuff like that, but that is stuff they came from me. And they made a mistake because I'm not going to, like my father, same thing. I'm not going to let you continually beat me. I will beat you back. And if I have to take your life so I live, I will. I have a right to live. You don't have a right to take my life. You don't have a right to harass me. I didn't do anything to you. So to think you that arrogantly that you do, I trust the universe. And usually, like I said, my record is impeccable. And all my stuff is paperwork. I can pull out paperwork right now. My so-called twin flame accused me of some stuff I didn't do. I got paperwork to say that case was investigated, and they didn't find anything she said to be true. This is paperwork. That's why she don't call here. None of that stuff. But I'm saying if you ain't about shit, I don't want you calling here anyway. You know, however that works out, it'll work itself out. But unfortunately, she's been nothing but like somewhat of a psychopath and a liar. I don't need that energy around me. So you got to look at yourself like that. And then when you see yourself like that and pull yourself back into universal law, then you won't have these problems. Just because something's on your natal chart don't mean you have to follow it. It's on your natal chart so that you can see it and do something about it. That's why I said the cards and stuff like that, it's a sneaky way because it's selfish. What about me? What about my job? What about my money? Oh, I want to get this type of furniture. What about that? Me. And then the universe is looking at you like, you selfish bastard. So now you're going me. So now it's not going to be about you. And so that's how I say you come across somebody like me to tell you how the universe really works. Same thing I'm telling this female. Whatever you're looking for is out there. But you can't be selfish and you got to get your mind right. Because you have to learn when a man approaches you, don't just go, oh, he's a lawyer, which means he's got money. Oh, he's got a good reputation. He might have a great reputation of a lawyer, but he might be whipping your ass. He might be whipping your ass when that door closed. When he start to loosen that tie up, start smacking you around. So you got to find out who the person, slow it down. Just like you just heard them say, 24, slow it down. All that Rambo jumping on somebody. Oh, what? So who? Let's go. Like the real world don't work like that, because you're going to go, what, who, or some Jay-Z jump, and next thing you're going to be locked up. You're going to be singing with that nigga name, I'm locked up. I'm locked up. So you got to slow it down. What's going on? Who said that? So that's why I said, so I can only do what God appointed me to do, anointed me to do. I do what I do. And I can only do what God appointed me to do, anointed me to do. But I can't worry about dysfunctional families and why we don't get along and why this person feels a certain way. Because like I said, I won't say who I'm talking about, but one person on their side, they was questioning that dude's sexuality in 1998. Now, this was all black women. And he got a soft side. Like East Coast, we in your face. East Coast, we feel a certain way. We're going to tell you how we feel. But him, he repress it. He'll say one thing in your face, but he's saying something else. But that's why you end up in a crazy house. Because you like two people. Which one are you? So I don't have nobody around me like that. I don't have nothing with that energy, because to me that energy is evil. Because if you go look some people in their face and say one thing but do another, it's something sneaky about you. Something weak about you. Because if you were really who you say you are, you say the same thing. I could see if somebody had a gun on you or something, then you might not say the same thing. Or somebody like 4 guys about to jump you, you might not say the exact same thing. But the bottom line is, for the most part, you're going to say what you just said. That's what Suge Knight said. He said, if you say it behind my back, you have to say it again in my face. But what he said is universal law. One thing about gangsters, they usually giving you universal law. Like, for this, we're going to do that. That's universal law. So that's what's up. So we did it all the way up to, I believe, your 4th house, starting at your 1st. And we may go into your 5th, and that is your sun sign family with 17. Now, I just want you to know 17 is a karmic number. And look right next to it, 21. That's another karmic number. Because 17 can also go 8, and 8 is the 8th house, which is also karmic. It's also like the sign of Scorpio, which is karmic. So it's a lot of karmic on your chart. But you have to remember, what I'm trying to tell you is, whatever you're ejecting out is going to come back. If you don't already realize that, whatever you're ejecting out is going to come back. So this is going on pause, and I'll be back. And when I come back, we'll finish up. All right, before I continue, a couple of things I have to say. First off, that Gemini also means younger ones, which means that when you do certain things, your children could be held accountable. Your children can be, especially youngest, like the firstborn, that will be well, that's like a young kid. But it could be any child, but I've seen a lot of the firstborn, just like with Pharaoh. See, remember, I've been serving God. I've been doing this now, not necessarily, this is all metaphysical now, but I've been doing a spiritual walk with God for over 40 years. So I done seen him come, I done seen him go. Just to let you know, I was talking about my younger sister. Now, my older sister, same thing, had a lot of mouth, just like you see on your chart, a lot of talking. But my sister was tough, though. I know a lot of gangsters. Wasn't nobody more gangster than my sister. I seen my sister knock men out. She was in a car one day. Somebody was going up the Ave with one of her girlfriends and one of her friends. And she saw a man that owed her some money. She jumped out that car on the Ave and knocked that dude out. My sister could fight her ass off. She fought dudes. The dudes that could fight would try to fight her, and they would be crying because they couldn't beat her and shit. One dude picked up a vacuum cleaner hose to try to hit it, and he still couldn't tag her up. You understand? So my sister wasn't no joke. My older sister wasn't no joke. Now, this is long before MMA. Long before, UFC, all these females fighting now. My sister she was the truth. When they came in that thug shit. That's why I said all them cats over here, they have respect for her. And it was kind of funny. I started dating a female. See, I live in the suburb, but the cities, you can just walk across the street, you're almost in the city. So I was dating a chick from the city. So that's when dudes in the city see me. Once they see me with her, but they used to always see me because when I was little, I was always in the city. So they knew me anyway. They would always see me by myself. I was never scared. And but when they still didn't know. They like, this dude look like a nerd. You know what I'm saying? This dude look like a nerd. What he doing? Walking by us, he could get jumped. He from the town. Shit, we could beat that dude down. You know what I'm saying? So when they see me with the female from the city, they're like, damn, what's she doing with him? Because they knew she wasn't no joke. She got kicked out of school for punching the teacher in the face. So they're like, why is she with him? And that's when they knew. They said he must be thorough. Because why is she with him? And then my sisters would bully any girlfriend I had. So my older sister tried to bully her, that chick from the city, and that was the only person she ain't ever bullied because she stood up to her and shit. Then them two became friends and stuff. So now the point I'm trying to make to you is this. Unfortunately, that mouth got her, and my sister that mouth got her in trouble. He's fucking with me and shit. So you got to do is read Psalms 50. It's going to say it. It's going to tell you all. I was reading Psalms 50 when God dealt with her, and unfortunately, shortly after that, she was dead. Now, also you can read Numbers chapter 12, where Miriam was always trying to pick a fight with her brother Moses because she was the older sister, and Moses was anointed, called by God, and unfortunately, she got struck with leprosy, and he would have killed her. God would have killed her if Moses had not have started praying for her. Because her other brother Aaron said, "Yo, Moses, ask God to heal her." And Moses, he felt like if God did it, God did. What you want me to do about it? But finally, God asked God to stop and heal her, and God was like, "Nah, put her outside the camp for 7 days. She's unclean for 7 days, and after 7 days, you can let her back in the camp." In other words, from then on, she better know how to watch her mouth. So why I'm trying to tell y'all talking about love stories and all that, but y'all need to begin your natal charts, find out why you're here. It's not just a twin flame. That's part of it. That's part of your journey here is what's on your chart. What do you need to be aware of? What do you need to be working on? Because this is not a joke. Doesn't matter. Oh, I don't care. I'll just go to another channel. But that channel, whoever you go to, they might make you feel good right now. But you best believe when you stand up before that throne, that person ain't going to be nowhere near your ass. That's what you better keep in your mind. See, for me, it's the forefront. I'm not even telling you make it forefront. I'm just telling you make sure you understand that. And see, you got a lot of Gemini third house stuff. So what I'm telling you, your young ones will be held accountable. That's why your chart is done the way it is. Because that's what Pharaoh thought. See, Pharaoh, even though he loved Egypt and loved all that material wealth and sitting on the throne, nothing really mattered to him. But that firstborn, that's when he finally said, "Okay, get out of here. Why you take my firstborn?" But you knew from day one. The dude told you. So it's not like God did nothing wrong. God told him from day one. Just like I'm telling all y'all that's listening. This is not a joke. Now that female I'm dealing with, I gave her a lot of free stuff. Went back and forth, did research for all this time. I'm a busy beaver, cleaning up the house, doing everything. This is what I do. You understand? But then finally, she's still weighing towards that guy. And to me right now, it looked like they're warning her. Like the universe is telling her through her dreams and stuff like that he ain't going to be too much different from your husband. That's what it looked like, but I don't know for sure. It's only one way to really find out. But I did the research. I did all that stuff for free for her. So then finally, I got sick of going back and forth because I hate when females keep choosing bad men. So I was like, all right. I told her, I said, I hope you're right. I said, but if you want to know for sure, this is what you got to do. So I gave her the option. It's up to you. You ain't got to take it. I ain't mad at you. You only got all this free work from me. I don't care. You need to ask archangels. And then she did it. So I was proud of her for that because a lot of females don't do that. So like I'm a big brother to see sisters. I'm a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't like when people come out their mouth and they lying. See, when you're trouble, when you got all that Gemini stuff and all that, that's the worst thing you can do because God hates slander. Like we could do it right now. The 6 things that God hates, slander is one of them. It says 6 things that God hates, no 7, and slander is one of them. But for some reason, women love that gossip and shit, all that slanderous shit, just to keep it going. Don't care how you destroying somebody's personality or their reputation. They did the same thing to Apostle Paul, but God hates that. That's why when somebody told me they love God, I love you, Jesus, I love you. But if you gossiping and slandering, how the heck you love God when that's something he hates? Oh, so I wanted to say that. I definitely want to get that first, but so all that Gemini on your chart, third house stuff, that's children. So you got to be careful because it's karmic. And I'm telling you, when that karmic boomerang comes for you, it's not just coming for you. So the person, I'm not going to say who it was. If you were listening, you'll know who I'm talking about. But I seen that person get it, and I seen the firstborn get it first, and then after that person got it. And that's why I try to tell these people that are still alive, y'all got to stop all that stuff y'all do, gossiping and lying on people, because y'all can get it too. And then that's when the dude got mad. But how come you ain't get mad since 1998? You've seen what these people do to me. How come you ain't get mad and make a move now? Now you trying to make a move because you like they thought you was feminine in 98. So you ain't man enough to stand up, but you're going to do like you always do. You're going to repress and run. And then smile in somebody's face, but you got something totally different. Because this is a dude that never said nothing to me. 20 years. I say what I say. I say to your face. I'll say it on the phone. I'll say it through an email. I'm the same dude. He ain't never said nothing to me. So he ain't got it. But he just want to look like. He want to look. I want the nice car. I want the big house. I want all the toys for my kids. He want that look, but that's that Taurus energy. I ain't saying all Tauruses are like that, but the ones I'm seeing kind of tend to be like that. More external and about material stuff and all that. Thinking that matter. Don't none of that stuff matter. If you ain't got manhood, that don't matter to you. If you can't stand up like a man, it don't matter. That's all I'm gonna say. If your word ain't your bond, it don't matter. So that's how old school G's taught me. So I wanted to get all that out before we go on. Proverbs chapter 6, 16. So again, when you say you love God or you love Jesus, well then let's see. Make sure you don't love this. This is Proverbs 6, chapter 16. Remember, Tupac was born on June 16th, if I'm not mistaken. There are 6 things that the Lord has hate, yea, even 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, same thing as gossiping. Unless you gossiping on truth, but even then, like it's something I learned about somebody that I know. They're not a friend though. They're not a friend, not a home. They're not homie. They're not none of that. But I do know this person. I do see this person almost every week. And I just found out some stuff, but I kept it to myself. I didn't tell nobody. And I'm gonna act like I don't know Jack, but it's all in the paper and everything. So that's a lying tongue, a hand that sheds innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked imaginations. But again, it's somebody making up shit. That's what gossipers do. Feet that are swift to run to mischief, a false witness that speaks lies. That's gossiping. Just lying. You could get put to death. Like under this law, you get put to death. And people think, well, that's why we ain't under the law. You keep on trying to get out of it. This is what you under. This is what you under. It's called the demon. Demon Kushri. Why do you think they call it a demon? Why do you think they like to dumb you down so you don't really think spiritual? Or you have a fake form of spirituality like 2 Corinthians chapter 3. Or 2 Timothy. Why does everything got to be fake? Because they already know the end. And you see it on your natal chart. That's the 12 hours. That's why on your natal chart you go right back to what that fish, which represents that Messiah, the fisher of men. And he's also the judge and everything else. Now, a false witness that speaks lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. And again, you gotta make sure you understand what that means. Because you're not sowing discord among brethren if you tell them the truth. Sowing discord among brethren, again, is that gossiper, that slanderer, and he's just making shit up. And like I said, when I got that piece of information, I ain't do nothing with it. Didn't make no phone calls. I could have emailed a couple of people, make sure they knew. I could have tried to somehow flip it and make myself look good. Because this individual, when he came on the scene, he became the man. You want to say he's already up on the board, just got there. And I'm saying, all these people that be here, how they just gonna put this dude up? But now some stuff done came out. I kept my, if he was my enemy, I still gonna mind my business. You know what I'm saying? I'm not into that kind of stuff. All right. So you don't have any of that energy. You stop all that gossiping if it's applying to you. Stop all that gossiping and stay away from that, because whatever you do is coming back. It's coming back on you or those around you, and they are letting you know. So it's not like you don't know. Just like I said, this female, I'm glad she was smart. Because I said, man, it looks like she's going to choose that guy no matter what. And right now, it's like they're trying to warn her. That's what it looked like. But like I said, I don't know. That's why the best thing she could do is ask some questions. Like the angels are higher than me. At the end of the day, I just tell y'all what I'm told. I stay humble. Might not sound like, I know it don't sound like, but you're hearing a fighter. You're hearing a person that should have. It was 444, the angel number. See how they confirmed it? Let me hit this. Now, what did I tell you? Now, let me tell you something else. Didn't I tell you about 6:6, the books in the Bible? Right after I read the Bible, at 6:26, 444. The Archangel number is 444. But the reason why they hit you with that 666, because that's kind of like a devil number. Now, what am I trying to tell you about? Now, don't get me wrong, though. 666 is a good number if you understand higher metaphysics. It's carbon melanin. That's what we are. That's what the people of God are. Carbon melanin. And that is the Archangel number. That's why I'm an Archangel. All right, that's why it's on the thing. So you see all this confirmation. You're going to see this at the end You're going to see me Proverbs chapter 16. You're going to see the 444, 626. You know I'm not making this up. And even the number 5 is going to be there because like the Bible in Matthew 25, 5 go up, but the other 5 don't. So that's what this reading is really telling you before we get to the love, because we're going to get to the lovey-dovey twin flame stuff too. But they're talking to you primarily. You're the one that requested it. So this female did what she should have did. Find out for sure. Why give that man a chance if he's just going to hurt you like your husband did? That's why I said if I was a female and somebody beat my ass in a relationship, I'm going to chill. I'm going to get out. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to breathe. First thing I'm going to do is get me together. Because I'm not going through that. Ain't no man going to push me around. Ain't no man going to bully me ever again. I'm going to get my stuff straight. I ain't going to just jump back into another man because he's going to try to play you out just like the other one did. Unless you're like you might find a really nice guy, but you could tell y'all women got intuition. Y'all just don't be, y'all use it for other stuff like shoes and shit. Like, oh, y'all be in the mall like Eddie Murphy said, with them shoes and a woman and y'all be in the mall. Oh, I know they're here. I'll find them. Oh, I'm getting closer. But then when it comes to shit that matter, like a man or something, all your intuition, all the power y'all got just go out the window. Oh, I think he's the right one. He's a fucking thug. Oh, but it's something. I can change him. I can change him. Three months later, 52 beatdowns later. All right, I'm looking at the time. Right is at 2. So let me see. Let me just do a couple of other things. All right. So since this is almost 2 hours, I'm gonna stop it. Because what happens once it's talking like 2.5, 3 hours, sometimes I have trouble converting it. So this is 2 hours. I'll probably make this one video now, but that's why I want to make sure I get everything out. So what I'm saying about the dude, unfortunately times have changed, and because times have changed, he continues to be a fake ass phony. But from his perspective, like I never knew his people. I saw his people every now and then because I like you gotta understand. Every time I went down south, my younger sister be all up in my face talking crazy, and like I don't have nobody in my face, big dude, small. Like it's got to be mutual respect. So I don't care who you. I've been like I've had all kind of crazy people in my face, but I'm not with that. I don't play that. So that's why I say got to be mutually respected at all times because I'm not disrespectful. I'm honest, but I'm not disrespectful to nobody. So I don't go down there because I've been to hurt somebody and then I'm gonna be locked up. And when I do a prison ministry, I used to have prison ministry that I used to do in Virginia, and almost everybody that wrote me back was gay. Okay, that's fine if that's what you want to do, but I'm heterosexual. Okay, so I don't need all that. So I don't want to be locked up in no Virginia prison with somebody trying to think I'm gonna be his boo or some shit like that. So I like, nah, I don't need to. And God always let me know I don't have to go down. See, the Bible shows you perfectly clear. There's God's way of doing things, and you can try to do it your way. But if you do it your way, you still have to answer to God. So whether you're doing it through cards, whatever you're doing, but on your natal chart, you're being shown how the universe is telling you God's way for you to do what your challenges are and how you can overcome them if you want to. And that's why I say I like this female I'm working with, because she staying with it. Because that was a big test, because she was still going to try to choose that dude when it looks like, but I don't know. I could be wrong. It looks like he ain't the one either, but we'll see. She's about to get that reading. She'll ask the Archangel, so it won't be Gary answering the question. It'll be the Archangels answering, and they're very, very accurate. So I want to get all that out now. So when we come back, we'll go forward. But the reason why I spent all this time, because like I said, it is on your chart, a lot of family stuff. So I talked about family and stuff like that. So in my situation with him, you know, it'll just be that way. Unfortunately, it's not gonna be no closeness. I won't be going out of my way. And he gets to a point out he don't want to respond. And he just like. But I told you, he got feminine ways, so he don't want to respond if you write him and stuff. I'm not, but I don't do that for nobody. Like he's just a wimpy dude. Like now, don't get me wrong. He probably could knock me out. Like in a fist fight, he probably beat the crap out of me. But he just don't got heart. Like I got heart. So he's just a wimpy dude. So that's my policy for anybody. I'm not gonna be sending nobody no card that ain't gonna say thank you. He's on some stuff like that right now, and I'm not gonna be putting none of my hard-earned money in your card and you don't say thank you. So until he stopped acting like a little kid, we don't have to talk. Cause like I told him, really, that's after he put his hands on me. He tried some slick stuff. Like no, he did this. He tried to touch me and jump in the car. Like I know this dude since 98. He ain't never touched me. Like I'm a victim of violence. Like my father was a beast. Like don't touch me. No disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Don't just grab me and I'm not a child. Like he'll grab his kid like that. I'm not your little boy. You can't grab me like that. I'm not your dogs. You can't grab, because he'll grab the little dogs. He like little dogs. Why you get little dog? Why you get a big dog? Why don't you get a Rottweiler? Well, everything you do is insecurity. So he got 3 little dogs, grab the dog, throw the dog across the room. And I just see, like I could tell he got all his internals. That's why he's in the crazy house, because he don't never let it come out. So that's all I told him to do. So when he did that, I let him know, if you ever touch me again, let him know what I would do. And everybody know I ain't a liar. So that was that. So ever since then, he been salty. Oh, we got his feelings hurt. But it is what it is. So I'm sorry the family is the way it is, but that's the choice they made. I've been the same dude. I always been about my morals. I always been about my principles. I'm the same dude I always been, and everybody know it. And now when they try to lie on me, I say, where the paperwork? And that's how you know a person ain't lying, because they don't back down. And they don't care what you're talking about. So I wanted to get all that out. But it is on your chart with that whole Taurus, Mars, Mercury, Gemini in the family house, and then you got Aries in your 3rd house, and again, that's somebody fly off the handle, just like that. Mars and Mercury is the same thing as Aries in the 3rd house. That's somebody fly off their handles talking crazy, just talking crazy, and don't have no accountability. But this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all making a mistake. It's the same thing in the Garden of Eden. See, a demon came and said you could do whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. You ain't got to answer to God. But then God showed up and did what? Held them all accountable. Same thing will happen again. You got a democracy, a demon telling you can do whatever you want. Hey, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You could be God. You don't have to open up the Bible. You don't have to find out what the Bible said. You know, you grown. Yeah, you grown. You ain't older than God though, but you grown. So you get yourself in a whole lot of trouble, bad karma, all that, and now that universe is coming back, and you wonder why my baby died, or why my baby's sick, and all that. Why? It's right on your chart. That's why. That's why you get your natal chart, so you find out what's up, so you can do something about it, so you don't have these problems. Not just about a love story and all that, because that lover, like I said, I hate to tell you, the lover gonna come and go. Lover might cheat on you. Lover might hurt your heart, like break your heart. So lover, it's good to know about love, but you better know why you here and your purpose and all that. So that's why I wanted to get it all out now, so that when we go into the next part of your video, it'll be finishing up your chart, going on to the other one, and we will be seeing the connections as whether these are twin flames or not. I'm out with part 1. This part 1 is out.